Continue. Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. I'm Julie, and this is my mama, Susan.
Hi, Julie.
Hi,
I'm Susan LaProy. How have you been, Jay?
Oh my goodness. Well, right now I'm really hot.
I am too. My glasses are starting to fog up. It's been miserable here. The high heat and high humidity, and now we got storms pushing up from the south. And
oh my goodness.
I know
it has been the same here. And I just had a shower recently, so I just feel really like, oh, like I'm dying over here. But we just finished the Stampin' Up Backstage conference.
Yes. Awesome.
And that was kind of fun. So if you're not familiar, Stampin' Up Backstage is for leaders who are Silver Elite and above. So Mom and I both attended this virtual event, and it was really inspiring. Mom, what did you think?
Wow, I thought it was great. I thought the keynotes were wonderful. And I just keep thinking about the game show thing that they did with Family Feud style, and they had different departments. So they had team members from different departments playing against each other. They did a couple of rounds of that, and they had surveyed demonstrators, and those were the questions and answers they used. So it was real interesting to see how different the demonstrator answers were from what the staff was coming up with. So I just got a kick out of that. I thought that was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun. In fact, there was a question. I don't remember what the question was. But normally, so they have two people, just like Family Feud. They have two people up there, and neither one got a correct answer. So they had to move back to the teams, and neither one of them got a correct answer. So they had to move to the second person. And finally, the sixth person got one of the answers that was on the.
And it was the last answer. It was the last answer too. That was so funny.
I was sitting there kind of screaming the answers, like it's this, and sometimes they got them and sometimes they didn't. So that was so much fun.
That was fun. It really was.
I just have like a whole bunch of notes, things that I cannot wait to like sort of implement or tweak in my business. It really was exciting. So if you're a demonstrator, there is another opportunity to attend a Stampin' Up event on stage. Did registration start already?
August 31st.
Okay, so
August 31st.
It starts in just a couple days. I had this like moment of panic because I thought it was the 20 something, but August 31st. So it starts on Tuesday, and it is open to all demonstrators. So it doesn't matter what title you are, if you're a new demonstrator, an old demonstrator, a leader, a new stamper, it doesn't matter. This is open to everybody, and you want to register early because the swag box is limited in its supply. So if you want to get the swag box with all the extra goodies, then make sure that you register. Yes, make sure that you register right away on August 31st. Now, let's just get right to our stamping. I feel like we've talked a little extra. If you're joining us for the first time, this is not just a chat session. Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie is our weekly video series. This is episode number 13.
13.
Is that right?
I think so.
13. And each week we each create a project using the same product or the same suite of materials. And so this has just been a lot of fun. Mom and I live in different states. She's in Michigan and I'm in Illinois. So we don't get to stamp together in person very often. And this has been so much fun. I'm so glad that we started doing this every week. So let's get to it. Today, we are sharing a fun suite from the mini catalog, and Mom is going to show you all about it. So
I am. Yeah, let me get my mini catalog here because I can show you where it is. All right. So there is so much product in this suite, it could barely fit on this. So it is called, and I always screw it up, it's called Gingerbread and Peppermint, and it's on pages 8 and 9 in the mini catalog. And there is just a ton of fun stuff with here. So all the product is on this page. And I don't even have all of it. I do not have the Memories and More cards or the cards and envelopes. So I can't show you
either.
Yeah.
I didn't get them yet.
I haven't either. But let me show you what's in here. So here's the stamp set, Frosted Gingerbread. So it's got some fun elements that are like cookies, gingerbread cookies. And the dies that go with it, there is, oh, I don't even know. There's a whole ton of dies here, but it's got some little candies, and you can either just die cut out the cookies or the shapes this way, or you can use the little embossing thing and die cut out some icing. And then there's some circles, and then there's this cute border. So that is the stamp set and the dies. In addition, there are some masks that you can use with the blending brush, with embossing paste, with ink and daubers, whatever you want to use with that. So that's a lot of fun. There's also some craft paper, and this is a pack of 20 sheets of craft paper, not crumb cake, but craft, nice and thick. Then there is this fun ribbon, ruffled ribbon, and it ties really nicely. And some fun acrylic shapes, some of which look like little icing. Some you could put in the center of candies. I'm going to put that over here. And the designer series paper. And I saved, I don't know if it's the best for last, but it's certainly not least. There are, this is a pack of 48 sheets of 6x6 paper. There are 12 designs. So I've broken it up into groups of 4. So there's this one, and the back is this one. And again, some of these are you can use for non-Christmas for sure. The cute peppermint candies with just some, I don't know, gingerbread icing. I'm not even sure. And then there's this guy with some really small candies. And these you can die cut with the dies, or you can fussy cut them. If you do decide to fussy cut, it's not bad. So that's one stack. Here's another stack. Just kind of a whole tray of cookies decorated.
Do you like gingerbread cookies, Mom?
I do. I don't make them very often because I'd probably eat them all. I like gingerbread, you know, like the cake gingerbread.
Oh,
I like that, I think, better than cookies.
We tried making gingerbread cookies last year or the year before, and it was good. They were a little dark, like for me, maybe a little too gingerbready. So we'll have to try it this year.
Yeah. If you make like a gingerbread cake and put some, you know, frosting on it, it kind of cuts that back.
Yeah.
So some fun papers, and here's the last set of 4. Just all kinds of fun. Jeez Louise. Polka dots.
I love that there's so many images that you can die cut and use.
Now there's no die for the trees. So if you do want the trees, you'll have to fussy cut them yourself. But again, they're not difficult, intricate images. And don't forget about these cute candies along the border to make a border. And then some fun stripes and some of those. So that, look at all that paper and 48 sheets.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like 6x6 paper. I think it's easy to use.
I do too.
Is it my turn or you?
It is your turn, Julie. I'm going to set up for my demonstration while you do yours.
All right, let's replace the spotlight. I pulled this out as you were talking because I wanted to show the difference between craft and
Julie, I'm sorry, I forgot one thing.
And crumb cake. Oh, let's switch back to you then.
I am so sorry. I can't believe I forgot this.
Oh, the pretty pouch die.
The pretty pouch dies. I used these last week and made some Halloween pouches. And it's part of the suite, but I just couldn't get it on the table. So anyway, I didn't want to be neglectful because this is part of it as well. Okay, I'm sorry. Now you can switch back.
So speaking of the pillow box dies, I was inspired by your demonstration last week. And I created some pillow box dies using the Gingerbread and Peppermint Suite. And what I did was I glued the flap down and then I left the side open so that I could slide it in there and not have to have any like extra adhesive because that just kind of holds on its own. So here are the 2 that I came up with. This one I die cut from the craft paper and then I added a designer paper flap. And then this one is just straight from the designer paper. So back to the craft and the crumb cake. Here is the difference. You can kind of see the crumb cake is lighter and the craft is a little bit heavier, and it definitely has more of that like fiber kind of look to it. So if you're wondering about the difference and whether or not you need to get the craft paper if you already have the crumb cake, I mean, crumb cake works, but it is a darker color and a different sort of texture. So that's the difference between the crumb cake and the craft. Well, today I'm going to share a project using those masks, and I just was forgetting the name of it. Adorning Designs Decorative Masks. It's 156328. And I don't remember if you showed them because I was grabbing my crumb cake, but there are 4 masks. One of them is in the bathroom because I rinsed it and forgot to grab it. There's snowflakes and there's stripes and then this little design. And then the other one is this sort of lacy icing design. And so I did this off camera. I used the embossing paste, which you're going to show us, Mom. But here's the 4th design in the mask. So I wanted to show you how you could use the blending brushes with the mask. So I have a piece of real red cardstock. I'm going to slide it in, and I'm holding the mask down with washi tape so that it doesn't slide around as I'm trying to do my design. I'm using cherry cobbler ink, which is darker than the cardstock because I want it to show up really well. So I'm using one of the blending brushes and just going to pick up the ink and then just rub it and burnish and blend over the mask to color the cardstock. Super, super easy. You can do this with any color. You could do multiple colors for like an ombre look. These masks are so awesome. I love that you can use them in so many ways. This is just one of them. So then when you pull that out, you can see it's really kind of subtle, and it does look a little darker in some places, but that's what it looks like with the mask and ink. So let me move this out of the way. You can just rinse that mask under the water. It's water-based ink, so it'll just rinse right off. And then same thing with the blending brush. You can just rinse your blending brush when you're done and get all the ink off. And then it may stain like a little bit, but most of the ink comes off, and then you can use it for a different color. So the card I'm making today, I was inspired by this layout in the catalog. I love casing the catalog. I know we talk about that all the time. And so as I was trying to come up with a card for today, I decided to case the catalog. So this one, they actually did use the embossing paste on the background. And then I decided to switch colors. So I'm using red instead of green. I've got a regular half sheet of cardstock folded in half. And then the front of the card is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. So it's a little bit of a wider border around the cardstock. And I'm going to,
our dirty little secret, huh?
Oh my God, I still have a few of those left. Let me get out the the new stuff, the Stampin' Seal. That's what I use all the time. Okay, so I got my background. It's so hard to see in this lighting, but then I have another piece here for the banner, and they've used a piece of vellum, but I'm going to use a piece of old olive cardstock. This is 2 inches by 4 1/4. We'll include the measurements in the video description for you. And I'm gonna add this. Actually, I think I'm gonna do some Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's layer on top. I love that there are so many images that you can cut from the designer paper. So I took some sheets of designer paper. I did fussy cut those trees. I die cut some of these other shapes. And then I also had some stamped. And I stamped and die cut those as well. So I just sort of have this whole collection of shapes. So when I'm crafting with this suite, I can just mix and match and choose the shapes that I want. So I'm going to go with the trees. That was the original inspiration here, had the trees. And then I die cut a label. This is from that the Pillow Box die set. There are 3 different labels. They're stitched, this one, that one, and then the little tag. And so I have die cut a label, and I'm going to stamp Happy Holidays on that. And so on the example one, they did white embossing on red cardstock. And so I'm just going to do the white cardstock. I think it pops against the other colors that are there. And really quick, while I have the ink pad out, I have some pieces for the inside. So this is just a 1 by 4 inch strip of designer paper. I guess it'd be 1 by 3 and 1 by 3 3/4. And then I'm just using one of those pieces that I stamped and die cut. And for the inside, I will use the icing on my gingerbread. So that's going to go inside. Always got to have a pretty inside. And then we're going to layer these together. I'll use some Stampin' Dimensionals. Actually, I'm going to do the trees with regular adhesive, Stampin' Dimensionals under the tag, and then also Stampin' Dimensionals underneath the banner. I really haven't used this suite a lot yet. We just featured it recently for Vacation Stamping School, and I hadn't made a whole lot of other cards, so I can't wait to play some more with this. Honestly, it still feels so early for Christmas, right? Like we're talking about how hot it is outside, and to be crafting for Christmas in August, it feels early.
It sure does.
I think I'll start using Christmas stuff a little bit more as it starts turning colder. Okay, so happy holidays. And then I feel like probably I want to include some of those sprinkles. Don't you think it needs a little something in here?
Sure.
I don't know, maybe just the dots. These are kind of thick though, so
They are very thick.
You will need some extra postage if you're using these. Let's get the take your pick tool, and now you can see I used a lot of glue, so it is like squirting out underneath, but it will dry clear. We need a third one, don't we, Mom? Oh, you know what I should have done?
Yes, you do. I was going to tell you.
Oh, we should have done them on the tree. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if that's an even or an odd number. Now we're gonna be here all day. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I just committed to this.
It's okay. You know, and if you don't want to use the acrylic shapes, you can use some of the holiday rhinestones or the red rhinestones to make it sparkle.
Well, now I already got the glue on there, so I have to now, but that's a good idea. That would be much easier to use the rhinestones, and they're a little bit not as tall either. These acrylic shapes really are very like very thick. Okay, this is tedious. How about this? I am going to finish putting these on while you share your project.
Okay, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
I do, yeah. I'm just going to put this aside for a second and show those other things, because you don't need to watch me put those on. Okay, so actually, when I was working on this card, I couldn't decide with the backgrounds if I liked the very subtle inked background here, or the designer paper, or you could do the embossing paste. And this is the shimmer embossing paste. I don't know if you can see that that glimmer in there. But I don't know. I haven't had a chance to glue them all down. What do you think, Mom? Do you like the which background?
Well, the designer series paper is pretty, but I don't know if the checks kind of fight with the trees.
Too busy.
Let me see it on the embossing paste. That's a lot of green. That's pretty. I like either the embossing paste or your first one that you demonstrated with the brush.
The brush, yeah.
Either one of those works.
So many options. Like
there
you
are.
could go so many ways with this.
That's cute. I like that. Yeah. Leave a comment. Let Julie know which one you like.
Because otherwise we'll just be here all day. I'll be trying all the different ways to do this card. Okay, so those were the 3 different backgrounds, so many different options. And then I do have a couple more cards to share. So there's this one. I do love this designer paper. There's just so many ways to use it and incorporate on your card. So these are the stamped images. This is stamped. This is from the paper. So you really can just mix and match. This label, I love that shape, is from the Pillow Box die set. Yeah. And then this is a punch. So you could go either way. If you don't want to get the Pillow Box labels, you can use a punch label instead and still get the same look.
Cute, cute, cute.
All right, Mom, let's move this over to you and see what you've got to share with us today.
All right. Well, so I am also using embossing paste, but that's kind of what I started. As I was setting up for this, I thought, oh my gosh, embossing paste. So I die cut out of the craft paper a couple of cookies, and I'm going to use the Snowflake mask. And I like using this on my silicone mat. And so I'm going to figure out which one of these I want.
That's smart. I did it on scrap paper, and now like my scrap paper is bumpy, so I can't use it again.
The other thing I'll tell you, if you've never used paste before, I always have, and it's out of camera, so I always keep a bin of water. So as soon as I'm done, I put everything in water, because if you don't and it dries, you're going to have a hard embossing paste mess. Mm-hmm. So I really want to anchor this down really, really well. And the embossing paste comes in a jar. And again, when you're done using it, make sure you cover it, because it will eventually dry out. And so when you, on the same page with the paste, you can get our little tools or knives, and it almost doesn't matter which one you use, but those are pretty handy. I'm going to use, I think, this guy. So put this away. And grab some. Oh, let's see, that's starting to get hard. It's almost like frosting. Yeah. And you don't need a lot. This is probably even too much. So I'm just going to put it on the mask and just make sure the entire image is covered. Okay. And I'm done with my knife. That goes in the water. I'm going to cover up my paste. I'm going to untape this.
So I was just looking through the garbage to find my wrapper, because I just opened this new one up, and I saw someone that just kept the foil over the jar to kind of help keep it sealed so it doesn't dry out. But if it does start drying out, you can add a little bit of water and mix it in to sort of reconstitute the paste.
Yep.
Okay, that looks amazing. I didn't realize that one of the snowflakes on the mask fit the die cut. How perfect is that?
It really is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the lower setting on our heat tool. And it kind of puffs it up when you use the heat tool with it.
Oh.
I may, just for time's sake, bump it up to the high. Let me do that.
I just let mine air dry. I didn't think about using the heat tool.
Yeah, it just kind of puffs it a little bit. I don't know if you can see it on camera puffing.
It's hard.
And if
to
you wait
see.
too long, it won't puff like this. So if you're going to puff it, you need to do it pretty quickly afterward. See if I can decide. And it helps dry it too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that's good. So there is our, and this one I didn't dry. Look at the difference.
Move it down just a little bit. It's super bright.
Okay.
There.
So I don't know if you can see the difference on camera. This is the one I just puffed up. This is the one that was almost completely dry before I remembered to get out my heat tool.
It's hard to see the difference on camera.
Yeah, let me see if I
Maybe if you turn it.
put it on. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think
I
you
can see it better, but I kind of see. I think.
I don't know if you can see it, but it really is. I promise you, it's nice and puffy. So all that stuff now is soaking in water, and I will get to it afterwards to clean it. All right.
So the silicone mat that just washes off with water too, right?
It absolutely does. Yep. All right. So this is the one I want. Okay. So I am also using a real red card base, and I am going to adhere some of the striped designer series paper onto it. And let's try. I'm going to try some seal. I mean, I like the seal, don't get me wrong. I just like the liquid better. All right. I also am decorating the inside of my card. And Julie, when I saw what you did, I thought, oh, great. Great minds think alike. So, so I just took a scrap of that and I cut out one of the little stars.
I love it when this happens. Like it makes me so happy.
We did not plan this, I promise you. So let me let me stamp the inside greeting, which is wishing you a Merry Christmas. And I think what I'm going to do, let's see if I can do this straight on camera. Close enough. I am going to put the designer series paper down, and I'm going to use my favorite liquid glue. But instead of putting my little Christmas cookie at the bottom, like Julie did, I think I'm going to put it up here.
Cute.
Which way, left or right?
I like it on the right, but I don't know. Is that because I'm right-handed?
No, I think there's a little, maybe a little bit more room on the right. Anyway, we'll let that dry, and then I'll put this on the inside. So to be a little bit different, I put my designer series paper all the way to the bottom. Okay, so now we have the front to decorate. I went ahead and embossed in white. You're the icing to my gingerbread.
Oh, you always do embossing. I love the way that looks.
Yeah, I do too. And it was, you know, when I finished die cutting a bunch of these little cookies out, I had some scraps along the edges. So I'm going to end up doing that, putting that there. What I did with the ribbon is I cut off a piece and I cut it in half because I want the ruffles on the top and the bottom of the greeting. Ooh. And I went ahead of time and put some tear and tape on here.
You always come up with the most clever things. I love that.
Oh, thanks. All right. Then I want to put this with the ruffle up on the top. And it's gonna have some sticky on it because this won't fit all the way over. Oh man, this is the tricky part, I think. And I always cut my ribbon a little bit bigger and then trim off
That's smart.
Because invariably I'm going to try to put it on.
Mm-hmm. And it would
It won't
fray
fit.
or something.
Exactly.
That looks really cool.
The bottom one on. I love ribbon just about as much as I love designer series paper.
It's always an afterthought for me. Like I just don't think about putting ribbon on. But I love this because this is not bulky. This is a fun way to sort of add that texture of ribbon without all the extra bulk.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I had ribbon scissors floating around here. I just heard a beep, but I don't know if I'm getting a message through or something.
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, good. All right. So I'll go ahead and put this on because I have all this tear and tape on. All right. So there we go. And then I die cut out some cookies from the designer series paper. And just kind of adding like a little, almost like a little platter of cookies, maybe.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm going to, I think, glue, as I just put the cap on this. I'm going to glue these down flat. Julie, as you pointed out, we don't want this too bulky if we're going to mail it.
Yeah.
And I am putting some of those, the little acrylic shapes on as well. So then the big question is, do I pop this guy up? Or do I just lay him flat?
I like him popped up.
All right. Yeah, now I got to find the dimensionals. Here they are. I always think I have everything I need. And there's always something that I forget. All right, so we'll throw 3 of these on here. Then I grabbed some, because last time I was fishing around in the little container. And I decided to get some things out. So I'm going to put, well, that's not going to work either because I was going to put them in the center of each of the cookies, but I covered them up.
Oh, do you know what I saw in the catalog? I don't know if you still have it, out to show, but there's a card in the corner on the page with the peppermint and gingerbread where they use the embellishments like on the outside of the snowflake to sort of like extend the design. I thought it was really cool.
Really? Oh, I don't know what I did with it. I tossed, oh, it's under a pile of stuff now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave just the, oh, I took it right off. It wasn't dry. And I think I'm just going to put some of this extra little icing stuff on either side of the green. I changed my mind because that's not where it was originally going to go. But I kind of bunched up the cookies a little closer than I intended to. So, and I would definitely let these little acrylic shapes dry before you go moving it around. But you'll have to check to see maybe if you put a little protection over the shapes when you go to mail it. So you're the icing to my gingerbread and wishing you a Merry Christmas.
Oh,
so that's mine. So I'm going to show you a couple other cards that I did. Julie, we talked a little bit about the using the red rhinestones.
Oh yeah.
So I used the basic borders along this one.
Oh, I forgot about that card. I love that border down there.
Yeah, and I die cut out the border that's in the dies, and embossed Happy Holidays, and you're the icing to my gingerbread. I really like that saying. So I just, I have to have sparkle. So there's that card. And then I did a slimline card. And you can make slimlines any size you want. This one fits into a business size. I believe that's no, that's not an A4, A10. I don't know what the shape is, but anyway. So I just die cut. You can stamp and die cut if you want. I cut out some little candies. You're the icing to my gingerbread. And then the inside, I used some of that candy bordering and a tree and wishing you a Merry Christmas.
Oh, I
which
like
I
that,
see is now crooked.
that border in there.
Yeah. So these are just some, I didn't step out of the color theme for this suite too much. But yeah, that is some cards that you can make with this suite.
I love it. I'm going to switch back over to mine and show you my finished cards. And then I also wanted to talk about a little reminder. So let me,
yeah,
let me switch it back over here. Okay, so I actually tore apart. I tore apart because I wanted to get rid of those two white dots and just have the red one. So there is the finished card with all
very
of
nice. Love
my
it.
red dots. I loved that suggestion. And then here I glued together another one with the embossing paste background. It's a little busy, but I think it's super fun. So leave a comment and let me know which one you like, this or that, snowflakes or trees. And then here is my reminder. This bundle is one of the 12 bundles that you can get for free when you join as a demonstrator during Celebration. So if you join my team or Mom's during Celebration, you can choose any one of these bundles, including the one we shared with you today, the Frosted Gingerbread stamp set and dies, as a free gift when you join as a demonstrator. So normally that's $48.50. And so that is an awesome freebie to add. We've had several people join our teams already this celebration, and we would love to talk to you and have you join our team as well. So if you're interested, we're going to leave links to our join sites and information in our video description. And please leave any comments if you have questions about that. We've got one more month of celebration, whether you are joining as a demonstrator or just enjoying all the perks of shopping. Celebration ends on September 30th. And so we've got just another month. Are you ready to show off Project Smile and do a face shot?
I am. So let's take this guy.
And add spotlight. Okay.
There it is.
Oh. All right. We have to do a little cheese. So I can take a screenshot. And
okay.
Play with it. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, cheese.
Cheese.
Well, I really love the way these turned out. And I'm so glad that we had a chance to share this Christmas suite with everybody today. Yeah. I feel like there's so much in the mini catalog that I'm so scattered. Like I just want to play with everything all at once. And so I've got like whiplash. I feel like this one, then this one, then this one, then that one. So I don't know what we're going to show next, but there's just
I don't either. But I did pull my catalog out, Julie.
Oh yeah. Can you hold up that one I was telling you about?
I can try to hold it up here. So right there.
Yeah.
If you'll see how they put those outside of the stars. So yeah, what a great idea. I didn't catch that. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, some of those shapes in the acrylic shapes are like kind of weird, right? Like there's the arrow looking things. And so when you see it like that, it makes more sense. You could also glue them, and I think they show this in other samples. I won't make you hold it up again. Glue it like on top of the die cut snowflakes, so like, on those ends of the snowflakes, you can glue the acrylic shapes right to the die cuts or the stamped images. Oh my goodness.
So what have you got going this week, Julie?
I don't even know. I don't know. I just feel like I'm always going into the next thing. So it's not Labor Day yet. We still have a week
Right.
until Labor Day. And I don't know, just kind of end of the month catch up. I do have an online class that I'm doing on Tuesday night. So I'm getting ready for that with the Harvest Meadow. And
I have Hostess Club this week. I
oh,
bumped it up a week because of Labor Day.
yeah.
Normally we meet the first Monday and Wednesday, but because of Labor Day, or it seems like, I don't know why I picked the first week of the month because that's when holidays seem to fall. So we often are kind of adjusting, but I have a great group. They're just, I love the folks I stamp with. They're wonderful.
Yes.
So
Well, it's like that is half the fun of stamping and sharing,
yeah.
right? Is all the people that we get to be with. Whether you're
Absolutely.
customers or team members or just all of you at home watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
We just love so much
We do.
to share our craft and this craft with you. So thank you
Yeah.
for watching and thank you for stamping.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, Jay, I will talk to you soon.
That sounds
Lots of
good.
love to you and Jim and the kitties.
I will do that. Give my love to Dad, and we'll see you
Okay.
next week. So next week is Labor Day weekend, but we still will have a video at noon
Yes, we
Central
will.
Time, 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time. So please tune in and watch. Not sure what we're going to share yet, but it'll be fun.
I have a thought. I have a thought. We'll chat.
Oh, good, 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 because I have no ideas. All right.
By the way,
we'll see
Dad
you.
blew you a kiss.
Oh, hi, Dad.
All right, bye, everybody. Have a
All right.
wonderful week.
Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Bye.